Very good morning, everyone. And before I say a word about today's topic, I want you to do something for me. Please sit back and close your eyes for just 2 seconds. No, don't worry, I won't ask you to meditate this early. And so just close your eyes and think of the last thing you bought that you didn't really need. Yes, not groceries, not medicine, something else. Got it in your mind? Okay. And now hold on to that thought because we are going to come back to it, right? And because today we are not talking about how much money you earn, we are talking about something far more powerful and far sneakier that decides where that money actually goes. Yes. So you can open your eyes now. And today's topic is spending with awareness, not emotion. So let's begin with this opening thought. Every purchase is a financial decision and often an emotional one too. Yes. So we like to believe we are logical creatures who make sensible choices with our hard earned money. But if that were entirely true, nobody's cupboard would have four pressure cookers, nobody's phone gallery would have a screenshot of a kurta they bought at 1 a.m. and never wore. I've seen, I don't want to look like a judgmental person, but many a times I've seen with females, the wardrobe is full of clothes, but nothing to wear while going to a party, right? And all of you have done this. Gone to buy vegetables or groceries on an empty stomach. And what happens? Suddenly, everything looks delicious. The samosas at the corner shop, the extra packet of biscuits, the tempting sweets near the billing counter, and all find their way into your bag. You didn't plan any of it. Your stomach did the shopping, not your mind. And emotional spending works exactly the same way. Except instead of hunger, it's stress, boredom, loneliness, or comparison doing the shopping for us. We walk into the mall, scroll through an app, emotionally hungry, and we come back with a cart full of things that had nothing to do with what we actually needed. So here's a small habit that can save you a lot of regret and a lot of rupees. Before any non essential purchase, pause for just 10 seconds and ask yourself three honest questions. Do I truly need this? Will it add lasting value to my life? Or am I buying this because of stress, boredom, or comparison? Right? Just these three questions. And let me bring this alive with a few of our own people. So, our very own Sunita ji, homemaker, she has come to our session multiple times in the past, right? And she runs her home beautifully, and every festival season, the sale notifications start flashing on her phone. Last Diwali, she bought a fancy new roti maker, a chopper, and a juicer, all in one weekend, all on the sale day. Today, all three sit on in the topmost shelf of a kitchen, still in their boxes, and she admits laughing. I wasn't buying gadgets, Kapilji. I was buying the feeling of doing something for my home when I was feeling a little low that week. Then, a working woman, Priya, she's a team lead at a corporate firm. After an exhausting, unfair day at work, where her idea was taken by a colleague and presented as his own, she walked straight into a store and bought a designer handbag she's been just looking at for months. It felt like justice in that moment. And 3 weeks later, the bag sits in a cupboard and the frustration at work is still very much there. The bag never actually solved what was bothering her. And then there is Rajesh ji, in his 50s, recently retired, part of an active WhatsApp group of old college friends. When one friend posted photos of his brand new SUV, Rajesh, who was perfectly happy with his sedan, suddenly felt he was feeling behind. Within a week, he had booked a new car loan he hadn't planned for. Not because his old car had failed him, but because his ego had. So, notice something common in all three stories? The purchase wasn't really about the item, it was about a feeling they were trying to fix. And that is the real difference between the two kinds of spending. Mindful spending creates lasting satisfaction. Emotional spending creates a quick burst of excitement, followed almost always by a quiet regret. And here is something practical for you to try starting today. For the next 3 days, whenever you feel the urge to buy something that isn't essential, don't say no and don't say yes. Just wait 24 hours before deciding. That's it. One rule, a 24-hour pause before any non essential purchase. And notice how many things you are sure you needed yesterday, but you've completely forgotten about today. Money at its heart is not paper or numbers on a screen. It's stored energy, stored effort, stored time of our lives. So when we spend it in a moment of stress or comparison, we're not just losing rupees. We're quietly trading away pieces of our own hard work for a feeling that fades by evening. So here is my ask of you starting today. The next time your hand reaches for the buy now button online or in a store, pause and ask yourself just one question. Am I buying this? Or is my emotion buying this for me? Because true financial freedom doesn't come from how much we earn, it comes from how consciously we choose to spend what we already have. So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.